is because Rick and damn Duper talk way too goddamn much.
Holy shit, we're on camera.
Finally! Woo!
Don't ever leave anything up to Greg again.
Ever.
It was fun because we started and then we had to stop it, and we didn't even know that you guys could hear us because we're learning this new technology. Come on, man, we're not that old, like young.
We're not that old.
We're here. We're not that old. We're not that young.
We're not that old,
Fuck
young.
It. Whatever, dude. Take warning. Here it is. We're going to start recording all of our weekly podcasts that are released every Wednesday live. So we're going to be on camera every time you guys see us. Surprise for the new year. How's everybody doing? You guys excited about this?
I'm super excited. I'm watching this on delay, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, right? It takes a minute to get used to.
Dupe's going to be distracted the entire fucking show. But it is our end of the year podcast. We are here to do a lot of fun things and just kind of really do our 2020 year in review. If you guys have been listening to us anyways, you know that normally we have a format where we like to talk a little bit about the news and a little bit of what's going on. This time around, we're actually just hitting 2020 as a whole. This is our big old Happy New Year.
Hell yeah.
Happy New Year.
Yeah!
She's so cute.
The baby's back.
She's a cutie.
Happy New Year.
But
Hey,
Christmas is not yet over.
Oh, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
I'm so excited.
But are we sponsored by anybody this week?
Yeah, 2021, right here. Booyah! Fuck you, 2020.
Happy New Year.
There it is. All right, so getting to the weekly review, Dupe, you get to go first because we've the last 2 weeks, somebody's presents have come in, and if you guys didn't know, and Dupe, I don't know if you have it around you. Mine's still stuffed in a sock drawer. Thank you, Rachel. We got a Caucasaurus Rex from Greg. The first week. Last week, Duper got a chocolate penis, and Greg got a bag of dicks. So it's our turn to get our presents from Duper, but we get to open them on camera.
Yay!
Fair warning, my wife opened the box. I don't know what's in it. I didn't look.
So let me be upfront. I got
It smells.
Josh fishing hooks because he went fishing. He enjoys fishing. So I got you guys something that I thought would be really helpful after 2021. This should help you guys in 2020. Or after 2020, this should help you in 2021. Keep you guys safe.
Why does this?
Oh.
Why does my package
this is
smell like a
smart.
fish
This is a
yard?
smart idea.
Yeah,
I like
this is really... Because I know you guys are so worried about COVID. I really wanted to set you guys up for success in 2021.
I know. I'm trying to figure out if I can get this on right now. Hang on a second.
So, I mean, they're different. I didn't chintz out and get you guys the same one. I wanted you guys to have your own individual personalities. So I am very excited to see you guys put these on. And I feel like with the nose, it's going to help you guys with the social distancing. I know Rick said some problems in the past of people being in a social space.
Dude, I really do not want to put this on because I don't know where it's been.
This should help you guys not only stay safe with the mask, but then it can also help you with
I'm
the
just
3
saying,
feet.
bring on the vid.
Yeah. So, Merry Christmas and a happy 2021. You guys are good to go for next year.
Yeah, I like it, dude. I'm actually going to use that. I'm going to wear that in a store. The next time I have to go into a store or a gas station or something, that'll be what I'm wearing. Yeah, everybody wants to see my tits, by the way. It's kind of the weirdest comment I've seen so far.
It's a plague mask for anybody who's listening to the audio, because we do still have audio listeners in the future. So
Who does audio
it is
only? It's 2020.
You're right. I had to put it on. I was really excited. Anyways, it was a plague mask. So we look like we're from, I don't know, colonial times, or is that even before that?
that's before that, but
Victorian times?
no, it was not. No, that's
I don't know history. Fuck your history. Greg, how was your week?
Good, dude. I don't really know what happened. It just kind of happened in like a quick little blur. Christmas was good. I got everything that I wanted. Dude, now that I'm on camera, can I show off my Boba Fett Adidas that I got for Christmas?
Is this what we're gonna do? This is what I got for Christmas, and I got this.
Dude, why
and I
not?
got, like a child.
You know
Yeah, do
me,
it.
I have the mentality of a 4-year-old, so
Do it.
Yeah, dude. So look at the sweet packaging, Boba Fett,
Nice.
limited edition Adidas, which are like
Very
way
nice.
too expensive, and I will never wear them because yeah. But dude, look at these fucking things, dude. First of all, they're high tops, you know,
Yeah.
which are just fucking amazing, you know. And then on the back it has the little Boba Fett emblems on it.
I like
So,
it.
Yeah, dude, I love these fucking things. Too bad I will never wear them ever.
So anybody listening on Wednesday, what the funny thing about this video is, Duper didn't realize that when you step away from the camera, it's actually going to be seen by people. He's also going to hit the microphone as he walks away. So while Greg's trying to show off his Adidas, all I heard was, and then he just leaves. I don't know if he's shitting. I don't know if he's just masturbating right now. I don't know what's going on with him, but sorry, the Duper's not back in. I actually muted him for a
Do you
second.
think
there,
he's
so we could-
Do you think he's trying to put on his own mask right now? You know?
I don't know what he's trying to do, dude. He was trying so hard to do something special here. So let him do his thing. Let him run. Let him
Yeah.
run. All right, for my week, same thing. Christmas was fantastic. Last week I talked about how I really, really just wanted to see my grandma for Christmas because I haven't seen her for months. Got to spend that time with her on Christmas Day from the quarantine. What is he doing?
I don't know, dude. I feel like this is like a role play, like Eyes Wide Shut type fucking stream, you know?
It's awkward. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, but whatever, man. Yeah, no. So it was a good week. I'm actually currently. So if you guys see me looking at my phone, I apologize. We are in the process, and it looks like we're in good. We're in a good position to maybe buy a house, and I think I've told you guys. I'm really looking forward to this. This house buying journey has been fun for me. So that's been my week. We're really excited, and hopefully it works out. That's totally upside down, Greg.
Yes, it is. Sorry,
If you're
you
gonna
bore
put
me
your
with
mask on.
your life talk that I just wanted.
There you go. That was a live talk. All right. So
Uh,
the format for today's show, it's a little different, right? We're
really
we're
fucking
basically
stinks.
gonna. God damn it, Greg.
Sorry, go ahead.
We're gonna go
Well,
ahead and run
they used
through.
to do, Greg, just so you know, they would put flowers in the front and the tip of it, so then they wouldn't have to smell the death.
Is that how they? Is that
It's-
how your men do it too? Like they
it's-
just put it on the tip, a little bit of flowers.
It smells
No.
worse than death. I'll just tell you that.
Yeah, just put some flowers in the front. I'll send them over to you.
Thanks, dude.
Potpourri.
Just
You're
on the
welcome.
tip, Greg. Just on the tip.
Just a tip.
So, 2020 year in review. We're gonna go through month by month. We're just gonna read off what we remembered being big deals for each part of that, or each month, and from there, we're gonna basically just kind of pick what we want to talk about. It's our show. We'll do that. So we're not gonna hit everything because goddamn, we'd be here forever. This is the weirdest, craziest year ever. Dupe's gonna kick it off. At the end of that, we're just gonna kind of go through a real quick reflection for each one of us. A quick year-end reflection. Nothing major. Just no fuck that motherfucker
just-
segment like we normally would do, unless
We'll
we want
just
to be
spend
angry.
15 minutes after each month. We'll just spend 15 minutes reflecting there so just 5 minutes of silence per month.
Chakra.
Just silence.
Oh.
Okay. Here we go. All right. Hey,
Hey,
Dupe,
wait,
why don't you kick it off,
Before
man?
you get into this, for those of you guys who are wondering, Josh is not going to be on today's show. He may not be on the next few shows because he's dealing with some hardcore personal stuff right now. So before we begin this year-end review, I just want to say I love you, Josh, and if you need anything, let us know, boo. That's it.
Yeah, for sure, man.
We do love you very much, and you're very much missed. But I'm sure at the same time, he's probably happy he's not on camera. So that's a good
I know
thing.
we might not get him back on the show because he hates his face so much.
I think he hates
Yeah.
your face more. That's the problem.
So he might not watch this episode at all.
No, he's not watching this. He's not watching this at all.
No, probably.
That's totally okay.
I don't know why
Um,
anybody would. Are we drinking or no? I don't understand.
No. That's for my reflection later.
For your okay.
Yeah. I just said
All
bring
right.
liquor. I didn't say bring liquor now. Hey,
Well,
dude,
I mean, when you say bring liquor, I assume we're getting hammered. So
are we going
um,
to get hammered on this?
no, I got to work tomorrow.
I was going to say, I'll pour right now.
All right, so January, we had the biggest wildfires ever in Australia.
Insane.
It was crazy, right? So General Soleimani was assassinated. Donald Trump was impeached. Kobe Bryant died. Ukraine shot down a plane on accident, killed a whole bunch of people. and WHO declared COVID a public health emergency, and Brexit began.
Wait, so
What stood out to you?
who called it an emergency?
Who?
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 Oh,
Who?
Jesus Christ. The World
Who?
Health Organization. Obviously, the most important thing that stuck out here is Kobe Bryant passing away. I can't even believe it's been almost a year, man. Like, what the fuck? That's terrible.
I remember when Kobe died, I thought that was going to be the big event of the year. Like, I was that fucking naive. At the beginning of the year, I'm like, well, Kobe died. I mean, nothing can be bigger than that. And then well, 2020 happened.
Yeah.
Greg, what stood out for you in January?
Well, I think globally, yes, Kobe Bryant is probably the biggest news, but a close second would have to be the Australian brush fires, man. I mean, I don't know like the exact like acreage, but didn't like half of Australia burn because of those fires? It's crazy, man. You see
It
all
was
those,
huge.
It was
know.
big.
You
It
could
was
see
big
it from
news.
space. And then that was like one of those things I forgot even happened by December. But you feel like that was bigger news than Trump getting impeached, bigger than Brexit.
Dude, everybody knows
Bigger than
that. Everybody knows that Trump wasn't, actually gonna get impeached. That was just a Nancy Pelosi thing, And then that's why going into my month, which is February, unless you want to still talk about January
I'm
stuff.
over it.
So
Fuck
the
'em.
Senate actually acquits Trump in February.
What?
Yeah, I know. Wah wah. But in February, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. The Diamond Princess cruise ship is quarantined off the coast of Japan. Let's see here. What else? Oh, February 6th, the first official COVID death happened in the United States of America. A lot of COVID stuff every month, obviously. The stock market crashed. The Dow Jones on February 27th suffered its biggest points fall in history, which is not good. And then probably the best news, though, is that the U.S. and Taliban signed a deal to end the war in Afghanistan. So, yeah. So which of those is the most... Oh, and Rick started working from home on February 26th and hasn't been to the office since.
It's true.
So, I
It's
mean...
such a true statement. It's
you know.
crazy. What do you think, dude? What's your big thing you wanted to talk about on this?
Well, I mean, we missed Ahmad Arbery. He got shot to death in this month as well.
Yeah.
To me, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. That's the big one. No, probably the Iowa caucus was the biggest thing for me because that was kind of a predecessor of what would happen in November. I think that was a big one.
I can
But the
see it.
stock market crashed, but then it quickly rebounded. That was a big V. Jeff Bezos pledged $10 billion to climate change. With everything else going on in the world, that one kind of fell under the radar. But the Iowa caucus, that kind of showed you what's going to happen in the rest of the year with the election when we get there.
I think when we talk about the election, the Iowa caucus was kind of important. I also look at the February 6th, that first official COVID death, when everybody was still kind of like, it's not that big of a deal yet, guys. Like, we're chilling. We're okay. And just reflecting back that here we are 10 months later, 10 months later, the difference between that first official death and now we're at 330, 330K. That's a trip. It's an important day.
Yeah, I think this was the month when you had Pelosi down in Chinatown telling people to come down and don't be afraid, don't stay at home.
Everybody was
she
preaching it.
did
It's okay. Yeah.
Bit of a 360 on that, didn't she?
Yeah, I think that most of the politicians and most of those people, that the leadership that we were looking for at that time, most of them were saying some stupid shit. And look at where it got us, honestly. So, yeah, that's it for March.
Well,
Unless,
Greg,
you have,
what's
I'm
stood
sorry,
out to
Greg,
you?
what do you got for February?
So like I just noticed and we all created this little list for our year in review. Like how depressing is it? I mean, obviously 2020 fucking sucked, but
It was a
like
great year.
I think I'm getting more and more depressed as I'm reading off each month and I'm like, "Oh god, I don't want to continue." You know?
We're only 2 months in.
We're not even into the good
I
part.
know.
We have 10 more months, man.
But I guess the good news is that Rick, that was around the time that you started golfing, correct? Was
No,
back in
Not
February?
Yet. Not yet.
Oh,
You haven't
February.
started golfing yet.
oh,
No.
well, that's
No,
just
no, we
like-
actually, I think February was the last time I got to play softball. So I
Okay,
was
so
still doing
your
that.
your money pit has not started yet, so that's good.
The money pit has
You've not been able to take your talents to another sport to fail in.
Not yet. No, that's coming.
But
bring that up.
you quit working in February.
I quit working from on site.
No, you
in
quit
February.
working in
actually-
February, huh?
No, I didn't quit my job, Duper. I just
Well, You
started
have a
working
lot
from home.
of time to do other things, so I assume you don't do shit at work.
No, that's well, I mean government, but no, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
The water
course.
cooler around your house
No,
is
I
just
started.
terrible.
So February 26th, I did start working from home. I actually got out about a week earlier than everybody else, and the only reason was because we were trying to, again, leadership. Right? Everybody was trying to downplay it like it's not going to happen. Right? And this is coming from everybody in America. They don't want it to be a big thing. Obviously, don't create a panic and don't create a problem. Unfortunately, a lot of us could see the trends, and we needed to establish some way to work from home. And that's a big story this year, is learning how to work from home, teleworking, telecommuting. And I went home about a week early. We'd already been kind of working on how we were going to be able to connect 70 people. But that's what I spent that next week doing, is just making sure we were all lined up and ready to continue succeeding in our mission without any kind of real break. And that's what we've done for 10 months. And I've kind of been home doing.
So the only thing I heard out of all that is how you were not an essential employee during this COVID pandemic.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
3 fucking times mentioned that he went home a week earlier than everybody else. Like, we were just testing the leadership thing and stuff, So, Greg and I, we can understand as leaders, you lead from the front. So I led from the fucking front, and I went home first. So
Exactly, you get it. You understand. As long as you guys understand that I'm showing you.
yeah,
There's my leadership.
I don't think you're fully understanding leadership. Thankfully, this is actually put that in the bio from now on, Greg. This is a leadership show now.
Okay, we'll do, man.
Hey, I know I'm about to start my month, but I want to break in and let you guys know that Albert Hernandez is actually in our Facebook stream right now.
Okay. Welcome.
That's exciting.
I'm saying Albert Gonzalez is actually on Facebook. He hates social media, so anybody else listening on
I do
Wednesday,
too.
they're gonna love the fact that Mr. Albert Perkins Rodriguez.
Dude, remember
on
when we were setting up this whole video live stream thing, and the whole time Rick was like, "We can't just check the chat. We can't check the chat. It's too fucking blah 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 blah." And then the first thing he does, 20 minutes into the show, is shout out people in the chat. Fuck you,
I'm
Rick.
just giving. Hey, man, we got to keep
Remember-
it live, right? You
Remember when the show used to be good? I
Yeah.
remember too.
Yeah.
What?
All right, March. What do we got?
Fucking Christ, here
Or
we
whatever
go with
month we're
March.
in. Yeah, March.
Yeah, we're on March. First of all, this is kind of wrapping around to January again. WHO declares COVID-19 a pandemic.
Who?
About
Nations
damn time.
Yeah, right. It only took them 3 months. The nations react in their own ways. Is how we have it verbed. The world is forever changed. Who wrote? Duper, did you write that part? That last
I
little
actually
bit.
copy and pasted it from a headline in an article.
So then 311. Oh,
311.
energy. Yeah, no. So on March 11th, Rudy Gobert, the same day that they declare a pandemic, Rudy Gobert tests positive for COVID. I
You should
actually
touch the
remember. this.
microphones.
Yeah, that was the day. They suspended the season that night, and I was actually watching that game from the gym, and I was like, "Oh my god, like that's crazy!"
Bullshit.
You did not go to the
Such
gym.
Bullshit.
Literally,
story.
that's
So I had to lead from example and stay at home before everybody else. And I was at the gym working out, lifting some weights. Like such bullshit. Get
First
the
of all, I didn't lift
here.
weights. I don't lift weights. I was on
What
an
were you doing?
elliptical
Just
watching
stare at
a
the hot
screen.
dudes lifting stuff or what?
Yeah, dude, junk everywhere.
Shit, dude.
God damn
So
it.
full of
No,
shit.
so anyways, I remember that happening. Anyways, we're gonna move on. The
Oh.
next day, there's a travel ban in the USA. They officially ban travel. We don't have dates for this, but Harvey Weinstein is sentenced to 23 years in prison for a criminal sex act and rape. Breonna Taylor happened. She was shot and killed by police officers executing a no-knock warrant. Tom Brady decided to leave the Patriots for the Bucks. March 19th, California went on their actual lockdown, which we're currently in again. March 26th, a record number of Americans filed for unemployment, 3.3 million. That is a funny number that it was a record then, because look at where we are now. Again, March 27th, $2.2 trillion stimulus package. It's the largest in U.S. history, is signed into law by Trump. And this stimulus package was put together to fight what we were currently going into. Oh, that's a big one. Tiger King happened. God damn, I know we talked about a lot of big things here, but Tiger King.
Yeah.
And then they suspended the Summer Olympics until 2021.
Remember, there was a time when people were saying that the Tiger King was going to get us through the pandemic. He did not last the pandemic. Like, he kind of burnt out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
That kind of sucked. Summer Olympics, do you think that's going to happen 2021?
No.
2021, we'll see.
That's next year.
We'll see.
That's in,
It's in 4 days.
I mean, why not push it to 2022? Fuck it.
yeah, I don't think it happens in 2021.
So you want to
Oh,
have
yeah.
it the
I mean-
same time that we had the Winter Olympics, 2022?
Yeah, we could do that. Do it in the same year. Fuck it.
If
And
Rick,
I don't
if-
know where the Winter Olympics are.
Rick, if you were an Olympian, what would your sport be?
Fat.
Watching dudes at the gym.
Just so much junk. Just there to coddle. No.
Just mouth
I don't know
open
if
the
I
whole
had
time.
one. If I had one that I think would be kind of cool in a Summer Olympic sport. I mean, did they bring golf back? Because I'm not good enough for
You're
it. I'm
not
just curious if they
Dude,
brought
such
it back.
bullshit. And what? No,
What
I
about
don't know.
do they have anything that we could do physically do?
In the Summer Olympics?
Yeah.
If they did, we would be there, dude.
Beware?
In the Olympics.
Oh.
All right. So I have no idea what mine actually would be. I mean,
I
It's been
it's-
so long. Like, I don't remember
it's-
what's in the Summer Olympics. I know some people run, some people jump. That's really all I remember from the show. The NBA
Gymnastics?
usually plays some basketball, right? They dribble the ball around.
Yeah.
gymnastics?
Oh, yeah. There's gymnastics, which is very
Yeah.
important that, that
I-
happens
I
in the
would-
summertime because it's an indoor sport.
I would love to see Rick ride that pommel horse.
What's a
you
pommel
want to see
horse?
me ride it?
That's when
Jump
they
off
run
that?
real fast and then they and do
My pony?
many
You wanna
twisty
Rick-
roos, and then Rick jumps on a dick.
That's
Is
not
that,
nearly as
is that
sexy
gonna
as I
be-
thought it was.
That's gonna
When I- when I-
excite about a quarter of our audience right now by me
When
just
I
saying.
quote Genuine, are we getting in trouble for copyrights because we're live?
Bow, bow, wow, wow.
Just saying, ride my pony. That's it.
More like a miniature.
It was
Anyway,
like a surreal moment when Tom Hanks got COVID, and then when Rudy Gobert tested, and then the NBA suspended their season. Right? Like, it was all kind of just surreal.
Well, what I like is that once Tom Hanks got it, all of a sudden it was real to America. Like,
Yeah.
that's, now, oh, wait. It's not just anybody. It's Tom Hanks. Then he's got it, and this is it. This is real now. Like, come on, man. When Gobert did the shit with the microphones and wiped himself everywhere, and then they had to shut down the league. I'm to this day I'm surprised that they even kept him on the team with was it Donovan Mitchell? Like
Donovan
there's
Mitchell
no
was
way.
not happy with them because he
Yeah.
got COVID.
Exactly.
But they
Um,
seem to be doing okay this year. I mean, I guess they hugged and made up or whatever. I don't know.
dude, okay, moving on. So March 19th is when Rick's state of California decides to go in lockdown, and Disneyland has not been opened up since. Isn't that some shit? You know?
Weird.
I
What?
bought a season pass this year. It
Yeah.
didn't work
Good.
out.
Too
I'm glad.
soon?
Good.
Like, I bought it in January, and then I don't know. We got some use out of it at least. But now I'm even like terrified about when they reopen the park. What's it going to be like? Can I even use it when they're open again? I don't even know what it's going to be like when they reopen. It sucks, dude. The rest of the show's going to suck because now I have no energy. You sucked it right out of me.
Sorry,
Well,
boo.
dude,
You're so good at
fucking
that though, sucking
Disneyland-
things out of me.
God damn it! Why would you? Okay. All right, we need a reset. How many minutes are we on this pod?
What do you
And
mean
it's-
a reset?
It's
We're-
been gay after gay for 20 minutes.
That's
4
what
minutes.
we do. Why are
That's
you
who we
offended
are.
now that your face is on camera?
Yeah,
Well, I took my
why?
sweatshirt off. I'm slowly removing clothing. I'm trying to do.
Oh God.
I don't
just
understand
gonna-
why you're so anti-gay, Rick.
Yeah,
I'm not
right.
anti-gay. I don't know why you're trying to put me in that corner.
I don't understand. Well,
Don't
I
put me in
mean,
the
do
box,
you
Cooper.
you got the Confederate flag outside? You got your MAGA 2020 hat on in the back,
do.
or what?
From 2024. What is it?
Yeah, that would
campaign?
be 4 years from today. Yeah.
So who has
Yeah, no.
April? Is Duper? Do you have April? I think you have April. So
I
what
was
happened in
talking
April,
about my
buddy?
March.
A lot
Oh,
happened in April. So finally in April, the CDC says, you guys should wear a face mask. WrestleMania still happened. Boris Johnson went in the hospital because he got COVID. Como says, I believe the worst is over if we continue to be smart. Well, that worked out.
Mhm.
YouTube removes content saying that 5G is linked to COVID. Crazy thing, this is forecasting December as well. You heard that the RV bomber might have been trying to blow up that AT&T building because he was worried about 5G spreading COVID?
I did not hear that.
No.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
that was his reason.
That's the big motive currently, right? That's maybe a contributing factor to why he did it. So crazy forecasting. It's like, this is a great year. Like, it feels like this was like a Hollywood production, and like there's really good little seeds planted at the front,
Dude,
that
this
we would get to later on in the year.
this wasn't a good year. I don't know why you would say such things.
Oh, dude, we still got 3 days left, dude. There's a lot of time to make up. There's a lot of good time. All right, so Facebook removes pseudoscience and conspiracy theories as options for targeted ads due to COVID misinformation. Trump pulls U.S. funding from who?
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 South Korea holds first election during COVID. Sees a record turnout of 66.7%, which again, foreshadowing our own election. Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina are the first states to end COVID restrictions. So that's crazy. In the same month that the CDC says to wear a mask, Georgia, Tennessee, and South Carolina says, we're done.
When did Florida? Because I think Florida should be on that list too.
They're not. I don't know when Florida did, but they're not on this list because
okay.
I have the list right here in front of me. Trump suggests coronavirus might be treated by injecting disinfectant or UV lights into the human body.
That was April?
Rick, I remember you tried this. How did it work?
So what I did is I took some Lysol, I swirled it around with a little bit of like, some vitamin water, and I'll just let you guys know now, it doesn't work. I don't think it actually prevents any kind of virus.
Have
I
you
don't
gotten COVID since?
Good point.
Or
I have not
herpes?
gotten-
Good.
I've not gotten COVID. I'm gonna knock on wood, but yeah, look at that.
Yeah, I mean, is that or never going outside? One of the two.
It's one of the two.
NASA selects SpaceX Blue Origin, and to build the next lunar lander to get astronauts to the moon by 2024. Who the fuck cares, dude? Have we been to the moon already? Like, why the fuck are we worried about getting to the moon? Like, it almost
Artemis, wait, are you kidding me about Artemis?
almost makes like the original moon landing not matter anymore because it's like there's a space like a moon race again. Like, it's almost like maybe the first one wasn't real. They're like, hey, we got to race to the moon. But then we're like, dude, we did that 60 years ago. And they're like, no, this time for real. I don't know, right?
You know, you just reminded me of Dumb and Dumber when he's like at that bar and he sees a news article. He's like, we landed on moon! Woo!
I don't understand it. I really don't understand the space fascination all of a sudden. Like, oh, private industry got us there. It's amazing. Like, fuck capitalism. I want everybody to die, and I'm super liberal, but yeah, SpaceX is the best because they're private. I don't understand this
Elon
world
Musk,
anymore.
dude. The Musk of Elon Musk.
I want to bring up Boris Johnson. Not necessarily that he had
His
COVID.
hair.
Yeah, like
Well,
look at
Rick,
the guy.
Rick, who is Boris Johnson for our fans in the audience who may not know?
Boris Johnson,
For our
the Prime
dumbass.
Minister of Great Britain. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
England.
Anyways, you've seen him, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they shave his head and just give it to Trump.
Well, who has the better hair, Boris or Trump?
Boris.
Trump.
Oh,
Boris,
that's a
all the way.
close.
Trump.
That's a close.
Boris-
Because
Boris
here's
is
the
natural.
difference. Because Trump at least tries to style it some way, and he's actually got no hair. Like, it's actually just like 4 really long strands that he sends back and forth. Boris, he just wakes up in the morning. He doesn't even fucking give a shit.
Well, for you guys in the chat, see, Rick, this is how it works. For you guys in
Okay.
the chat, who has better hair, Boris or Trump?
Well, here's the thing.
Comment
Here's how
below.
it
We'll
works.
get it
I've
in 10
also-
minutes.
I want to point out that I've also been blown up because I have not acknowledged that we have 3 special listeners. Apparently, they're special, and we're ignoring them because we called out Albert Chavez.
You're
So
stupid.
hi, Preston, Ryan, and Dan. There's a shout out. I don't know. That's what they asked for.
Oh, I thought you meant like special.
What, like Boris Johnson and Trump?
I thought you meant like my friends at the orphanage.
Oh, we're doing this again. We're back at that again. There you go.
If you guys want to know more about that, just listen to our Christmas episode and you'll understand Duper's life growing up in the orphanage.
It
we
wasn't
got a
easy.
vote
It
for
was hard
Boris.
life.
We have a vote for Boris.
See?
For who has the better hair?
Oh, we have 2 votes for Boris
See?
For better hair?
for
Or
better
for
hair.
worse hair? I don't know what
No,
the
for
question
better
was
hair.
anymore.
Who had
It
the
was
better
who had the
hair,
better
Boris
hair.
or Trump?
Yeah.
See, Duper, you don't know about that because you don't have hair. You have receding hair. So
I've
it doesn't
always-
really apply to
It's
you.
coming from the man with the receding hair. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Your
I
hair
still
is-
got it, bro. All right? I'm good. I'm good. I got at least another 3 years on me.
Oh, bullshit.
Yeah. But all right,
When did you guys start to accept your thinning hair?
20.
Third
I mean, 'cause-
grade.
I'm just saying I don't have thinning hair. I'm just asking when did you guys as balding men start accepting that you're just going to be this way?
Third grade. I can show you pictures.
I started growing gray hair like at 20. I was like, this is some bullshit. I'm not even old enough to have a beard and I'm fucking getting gray hair. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, are social media managers watching? What is
Oh.
this?
Does that mean we can't say bad words anymore? I don't know.
No, Lee Goldman,
Does
fuck
that-
you. How about
Does
that?
that censor us?
Actually, Lee,
I say.
I wouldn't be
How
able
come
to set up this shitty fucking live stream if it wasn't for you, Lee. So thank you.
I know. We
I
really
am
do
grateful,
appreciate having you.
unlike Rick, who's a fucktard. All right, should
But
I
I do,
move on with the month of May?
Yes.
Oh
Jeez.
my God! Can I? Yeah. Can we just? Can I just point out that someone's wife has still not accepted Duper's hair? That's an actual comment in the stream right now. Look at Duper. He's so serious.
I don't know what that means.
That,
Like,
that means
Christmas
Mrs.
show, like-
that means Mrs. Duper's talking shit about you. That's what that means.
yeah.
Thank you,
I'm gonna
Mrs.
give
Duper.
Back
I'm
to
gonna give her a
just
heart
doing a
emoji.
show. This should not be a chat session.
I know.
See
I
what
know.
I'm saying?
Now he wants to
Rick?
get it off.
People want to chat with us. We got to go to Patreon.
All right. Am I on? Greg, go May.
Okay. So what is this? So on May 1st, armed protesters against stay-at-home orders gather at the state capitol in Michigan as Governor Whitmer reinstates state of emergency. On May 4th, world leaders pledge $8 billion to research treatments for a vaccine for COVID, with the U.S. and Russia not taking part in that, by the way. You know, probably the greatest thing that happened in 2020 is the Take Warning podcast is being developed and planned from concept to execution.
Fuck you, Michelle Obama. This is the best podcast launched this year.
Absolutely. COVID hits 1 million people recovered from COVID globally, and it reaches 4 million cases globally. May 25th, George Floyd death sparks protest, and the SpaceX Crew Dragon goes to the space station. So that's like a lot of good and a lot of bad all in 1 month. So what are your guys' thoughts on it?
The world leaders pledged $8 billion to research treatments for and a vaccine for COVID-19, with the U.S. and Russia not taking part. So who has the vaccine?
Everybody but Russia. It sounds like.
Russia and
has
the
it?
USA. Russia had their own Sputnik
have
5
Sputnik.
in,
Yes,
in
that's not-
August.
Sputnik 5.
It's vodka, dude. It's vodka. It's not a fucking vaccine.
It's
They just took some
disinfectant.
Stoli. They put it in a
It's-
little vial, and they're like, "Here, inject these Stoli. You'll be okay. You'll be strong like bear." And they that's it.
If he dies, he dies.
Exactly. Yeah.
But dude, I said this last week, but I want to go to Moscow and I want to get the Sputnik 5 vaccine.
Just because the name.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
got better branding around it.
It probably
It's
has.
way better standing than Pfizer.
They're like, Trump says bleach good. We give bleach cost Sputnik 5. So I want to
Sputnik
try
5
it
is
out.
better than Pfizer, spelled with a P. Spell your shit right.
Fizzer. Pfizer.
Pfizer.
This is me, Xerxes.
But like that's amazing that the the two countries that were like, no, we're good, we got our own shit. They're the ones that actually figured their own shit out, and then everybody else is, where the fuck did all that money go?
Hold on a second. Now,
man.
AstraZeneca is working with Oxford University in the UK, who had that money from the $8 billion. So even though we have vaccine here, this was a
That was
collaboration.
the vaccine that was rejected, Rick.
It's not
How was
rejected.
the-
It's still in
It was
testing.
it was rejected. Moderna, Pfizer, and
AstraZeneca hasn't been rejected.
AstraZeneca was
It hasn't
supposed
even
to come
gone
out
to
at
its
the same
EUA
time.
yet.
It did not pass the FDA.
It's not going for an EUA yet.
It
That's-
came
they
in. It
still
came
have
in.
to
It
figure
came
out.
in with this funny little accent, and we kicked it back over to fucking shore. We said, no, we don't do any of that top hat, funny hat shit here. Get the fuck out of here,
I can't wait. I'm gonna do my research.
please.
For the first time
I'm
ever.
gonna let you know right now that I know either Moderna or Pfizer. One of those had something to do internationally. It was probably with those goddamn Hungarians. But either way, Duper, are you in a safe space now? Ooh,
No,
I
I
can
got
talk.
something for that next
Okay,
week,
so,
actually.
oh, God.
Oh, he's moved on. No more safe
Saving
space
the
for
safe
you.
spaces? I can't send him to a safe space this week.
Nope, that's it.
What am I gonna do? All right, that's fine. Obviously, to me,
Now that I see you, Rick, you're not as intimidating with your MAGA words, so
Yeah.
it
Wait,
doesn't
with
hurt
your
me as
MAGA
much.
words?
Rick.
Oh, I'm the MAGA guy now. The liberals, the
Honestly,
MAGA.
I mean, if I'm the one with safe spaces, yes.
So Rick, I like how you spent like what $70 on a kick-ass webcam and light, and you look like a fucking kid, fucking watching TV in your bedroom, like trying to
Oh,
like
yeah.
pull up porn on like the scrambly like TV shit, you know?
I remember
like
that.
when we were kids.
Kids will
Yeah.
never experience that today. Isn't that a goddamn shame?
That better?
They're never going to have to pause the TV VHS tape just so they can see a nipple for half a second.
I blame you porn, fucking you porn.
I'm gonna let you know right now. That fucking light is hot, but it's okay.
So is
I'm
mine.
figuring this shit out.
So is mine. But it's hopefully burning some of this
so-
chin fat, so it should be fine.
What stood out
My-
to you
my-
on this one, Rick?
I fucking hate you, dude. George Floyd, obviously. I think that's the biggest thing that happened in May, aside from Take Warning, obviously. But yeah, George Floyd. That was a big marker. Had there not been a pandemic, that would have been a huge marker, anyways, this year. That would have been outside of. I mean, so much shit happened, but that's a big story. One of the top 2, 3 in this year.
Is it? So no, it's a big story,
United
but I
States.
don't know
In
if
the
it would
United
have been as big. If it was, well, no, it was UK, it was global. I don't know if it would have been as big if we weren't on lockdowns.
Well,
I think that
that-
there was
you gotta look- I don't think the
multiple symptoms
reaction-
feeding into that.
the reaction was bigger because we had a pot. You know, we were all in a boiling pot with a lid on it, and this happened, and that's what blew the lid. So yeah, absolutely, the reaction was much more severe. But this would have been and should have been a conversation and something that happened this year that would have been one of the top 3 events. I really I'm sticking to that. I think George Floyd matters.
And it only happened, what, like 2 months after Breonna Taylor?
Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery.
Dude.
I mean, that's a lot in just a few months, and that conversation that everybody needed to have, it wasn't happening, and this kind of was the one that lit the match, and started a summer of some crazy shit. Greg, do you have something for me?
Dude, it's yeah, George Floyd is probably the biggest news to hit, but I was so thankful that for at least a couple weeks, SpaceX sending that Crew Dragon 2 to the space station gave us a little bit of a distraction from the madness that was.
For who? People from the 1960s?
Dude, space is cool. All right, I've been there.
I don't understand the space thing. I really don't.
So you didn't
Alright.
think like watching the launch was cool and fucking that the story was a good story?
I think Buzz Lightyear's pretty cool.
I think we're only 6 months in. That's what I think.
Yeah. All right, June.
And I
What we
think we're gonna
got?
come back to space in June. Riots outbreak. Who put that? Riots break out. With
Dude, copy and
statues-
pasted. It's not the same as it used to be. I'll tell you this. You're right.
Jesus
I
Christ,
actually
Rupert.
I read an article today earlier about an article that was about a different article. Like that's where we're at with journalism. You
I'm
just
just
write
saying, like, what the
random
fuck what am I reading here? Anyway, I'm gonna read this dyslexic shit. Riots break out with statues of Confederate figures and explorers as they are destroyed, because that wasn't actually put in there either. They were being brought down, destroyed, vandalized, and they become the focus of the BLM protests. Now, this is in June, so this is only maybe a week and a half after George Floyd happens, right? Because George Floyd happened towards the end of May. So you had that boiling pot. You go into a holiday weekend. People have been on lockdown. They're still on lockdown, and then within a week and a half, the riots really start, and it starts getting crazy. Seattle starts an autonomous zone. Duper really loved the autonomous zone. He actually wanted to visit at one point, I think.
I really did. I still want to visit. Can they
is it
bring it
still
back
there?
just so I can come?
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
Did they
There's
get
a new
bored?
one.
Like, what happened to the autonomous zone? Did they just get bored and go home?
Some people got shot, and so they had to clear it out. So
Okay.
the whole idea behind it was, we don't need fucking police. We can police ourselves. We're fucking
Yeah.
good. and then 2 fucking people die, and they want to shut the whole fucking thing down.
They should just make a huge ball pit and then just call it the Autonomous Zone, like Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay, so
That shit would be so filthy with all those fucking hippies, dude. You know
Oh.
they don't shower.
Well, dude, it's about as filthy as this fucking mask right here. I can tell you that.
all you gotta do is just, he said smudge the tip with flowers. Do that for your wife one time too. I bet
Your
you
wife will love it when you wear
know what I'm
that later tonight.
Yeah. Just come in with like a daisy and just like swirl it. Like, there you go, baby.
All right.
Tomorrow, before she wakes up for work, you should wake up before her and just stand at the end of her bed in that mask.
I'm
I will-
so gonna scare the fuck out of everybody in my house. There's gonna be some. Oh wait, am I on? We're on Facebook Live. There's gonna be some weird sex shit. It's gonna happen.
It
Rachel's
works
gonna be
better
like,
with a.
I
I'm
hope
gonna come out of the shower all fogged up with the mask on and be like,
Yeah.
hey, and she's gonna be like, get the fuck out of this room. I'll be like, all right, well, I tried. You know.
I hope
Well,
you're not
we know-
posting
we
that
know
on Facebook
there's-
Live.
There's not going to be any backdoor action. So
Not at all. Not at all.
No.
The
no,
Holy
no, no,
Grail
no,
will be
no.
closed.
Let me move down the list. Actually, and as we're making all these jokes, then we get to something.
you've only
Again,
to
it's
2
great.
bullet points out of like
Yeah.
8.
I know. I'm trying to get through them. June 12th. This is actually another fucking thing. Rashard Brooks is shot dead in Atlanta. So the Supreme Court rules 6-3 that gay and transgender workers cannot be discriminated against in the workplace. Trump holds his first re-election rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma. 6,200 people attended. China imposes new security laws on Hong Kong. And there was a 7
Why are you
point
going to say it like that?
Hong Kong. I didn't mean to, but I did. It's just that prejudice. I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't know.
Rick hates Asians. I'm sorry, people.
When I say goddamn Hungarian so much, then all of a sudden that's what happens. I apologize. 7.5 magnitude earthquake in Oaxaca, Mexico. I hope I said that right. Albert, if you're still listening there, I could use some help on pronouncing Oaxaca. Just to let me know.
OAXACA.
OAXACA. So for me, the thing that sticks out, and there's 2 actually. It's a weird month because this is the month where you can add the bullet point that Rick starts golfing. There it is. That was the other big one. So there's 3 points there, right? But no, honestly, the Supreme Court ruling, it was surprising and it was good, right? To me, it's an excellent ruling.
Why was that surprising?
Why was it surprising? Because they have what's his fuck on there? They just got sworn in, and I wasn't sure if he was gonna. He ruled in favor of it.
Hey, Rick, good job. The
Yeah.
chat's saying you pronounced that right. Say it one more time.
Oaxaca.
That made my nipples hard.
Yeah, say it
One more
again.
time.
Say it again.
Oaxaca.
Slower.
Say it slow and quiet, and then say it a couple of times and build more intensity every time you say it.
Do you have to roll your R's with this one? Is this one
Dude,
of those?
you've just been doing it. You just do it. Do it the way you were doing it.
There's no R's in it. What are you talking about?
Oaxaca.
Horchata.
Oaxaca.
Waka.
Ohana means family. Yeah. What stuck out, dude? What stuck out for this month?
I forgot we were talking the riots. The riots were the biggest thing, hands down. I mean, the autonomous zone kind of fit into the riots. This is also when the riots in Portland began, and then we'll learn later on it was like 100 days of protest in Portland. So, yeah, it was kind of a surreal moment again. It was, I mean, it wasn't like, going to the moon or nothing, but the fact that we had all these people down here just so upset, burning down things and ripping down these statues that we've been talking about taking down for years. It was definitely a boiling point in the country. But I mean, I do want to ask you about George Floyd again. What was it about him that caught the nation's attention, right? Because there's a guy, I don't know, Andre Hill. Do you know who Andre Hill is?
Tell the listeners.
Do you?
No, I'm asking you to
No,
tell
I'm
the listeners.
doing this to make you sound stupid. So Andre Hill.
You've obviously, so here's the thing, and everybody's gonna catch on to this eventually, but Duper will he'll find something and he'll be like, "Ooh, I know that nobody's gonna research this, so that I can make you look stupid."
No,
in the
it's not.
podcast."
It's
I
not.
don't really
I'm
care. I
making
don't
a
know
joke.
who he
I'm
is.
making a joke.
No, but I really
do.
don't know who he is.
I love
tell us
you
who he
challenge
is.
me all the time. Andre Hill, actually, he's a guy that just died 2 days ago, right? He was shot by a police officer, a black man.
Oh, that was his name.
The report is saying that he was just in his garage. He was outside of his garage, and the cop overreacted and shot him, right? So here's the thing. why did George Floyd catch fire, but not Andre Hill? Because Andre Hill, this story from right now, right? These are initial reports that I've heard. I don't have all the details on it. This one seems more innocent, right? On the perpetrator's side. Even Breonna Taylor would have been more innocent. Why does George Floyd catch on, but not an Andre Hill, not a Breonna Miller or Taylor?
Do you think that Breonna Taylor was how we were starting, right? Because the conversations were starting at that point. Um, but when Floyd passed away, that sparked it, but there was no change at that point, right? That was the spark for change. And I would say that from June to now, in 6 months, I think that there has been at least the conversation's been had. We've been forced to talk about this to address how we can try and resolve it. And now that you can see progress, it might not be the fastest and it might not be swift and there, but there is progress compared from then to now. And maybe that gives everybody a chance to say that is a very fucked up situation, and those cops better be held accountable. And whatever happened here, there needs to be an investigation, but it gives us a moment to be able to pause, take a breath, and understand that we are trying to change this. Everybody understands that this needs to change. That's what I think maybe is why you don't react.
You're wrong, and here's why. So all the deaths are tragic, first of all, but the thing that made George Floyd stick out is that you can actually see the life being taken away from him as that cop was applying more and more and more and more pressure. You see
Good
a
point.
dying man giving his final words, crying for his mom, and nobody gives a shit, right? And then it ended up resulting in his death, which didn't need to happen. Regardless of what your thoughts are on it, that man did not deserve to die that day. He didn't kill anybody, he didn't rape anybody, he didn't, he wasn't a homicidal maniac. So he did not deserve to die that day. And the fashion in which he died only aggravated the things that were already going on with Breonna Taylor and other victims. So that's your answer.
I think I agree with you as the video. 8.5 minutes of the Gavin with his knee on his neck was impactful. But you brought up he didn't rape anybody. Jacob Blake actually did rape somebody, and yet he was also kind of got the George Floyd treatment. Why do you think that one happened? Again, was it video?
So yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to speak for like when
Hang on,
George
Greg
Floyd
was
happened.
Greg was pointing out that he was not an immediate threat at that moment.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at.
That doesn't necessarily mean that he might need to see the justice system for something else. Much like Jacob Blake, he needed to see the justice system for something else. But was he an immediate threat at that point that warranted that use of force, or was this for another reason? And I think that's what Greg's trying to point out, right? Am I wrong?
No, you're pretty much on it.
So, but okay, so you're saying that he was racist, Gavin?
Well, no, because I don't know that, but he ended up murdering somebody, right? So that is obviously, and it was. I mean, there's a multitude of factors in each of these incidents, but I just think the way that George Floyd and the way that his death happened, and the way it was recording and blasted everywhere on social media, that's what made the difference here, I think. I mean, I don't think it necessarily like these events didn't happen because of George Floyd. I just think George Floyd was the final match that lit the flame.
Right.
Yeah.
It was accumulated, and that was just the last straw, man. There were people that needed to be heard at that point.
Now, granted, we say this as 3 old fat white guys who obviously are not black and don't know what it's like coming from that perspective of having these events possibly happen to you, or being profiled or anything like that. But we're just speaking from our own biases as white men, what we perceive. Now, people who are watching out there can tell us to go fuck ourselves because we're not black. Like we haven't been racially profiled. At least I haven't. But dude, so we're like way off topic. But I think who has July? Duper, you got July, right?
You guys never finished your things that stood out in June.
Just so you know, I actually got a comment here that said Simon Pegg made a very good point. Good job.
Good.
Good job, Dupe.
Who was
I'm
that?
proud of you.
Who's that little
Also,
prick?
who's watching the Twitch chat? Because I'm getting screenshots now, and I'm like, what the fuck? There's some funny shit going on over there.
And going back to the Halloween episode, obviously I'm Simon Pegg, and you're the fat kid that got locked up in the shed from Shaun of the Dead. We've already discussed this on the previous podcast.
I mean, he's like the cool one.
Yeah, so somebody's making fun of us for jokes that we've already made.
Good for you.
Fuck 'em.
Keep it up. Keep it up. I'm proud of you guys.
Somebody
that
And
guy.
once
Whoever
again,
that person is.
Rick is highlighting how, the chat, we shouldn't be looking at chat. And every fucking other goddamn minute, he's
I waited
looking
for a
at the
moment to
chat.
break in and just point it out. I waited for a moment to
yeah.
break it. and point
So
it
we
out.
gotta wait till we get to the December's recap, and we're like, Rick learns how to read chat messages.
I'm just trying to keep the listener engaged.
Rick is proven wrong on how chat rooms can work in live streams.
All right, so who's July?
Duper's July.
That's what matters here.
Oh, Twitter accounts of CEOs gets hacked in Bitcoin scam. Elon Musk was a victim. COVID death toll passes 600K. Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested in connection to Jeffrey Epstein. NASA launches Mars 2020 rover. And then wildfires start in California with the Apple Fire.
So
Again, why is NASA in here again? God
can
damn
you
it.
say what's her name's first name again?
Ghislaine.
One more
Let's say
time.
it the right way.
Ghislaine.
Slower.
Ghislaine. Ghislaine.
Slower.
Ghislaine.
Oaxaca. Oaxaca.
Ghislaine. Jizzy.
Dude, didn't we? I think July was when we sent Elon Musk that sweet ass photo of Elon's Musk, because that's
Yeah, when
never
we were
getting
trying to
old.
get him sponsors with his cologne.
Yeah, and we did not get one fucking person off of that
Nobody
post.
cared.
So we love you, Elon.
So, you know what's crazy about this is that July was an easy month, man, for us this year. That would have been the month where we were like, oh, this is okay. Life is okay.
Well,
It's
what
not-
would have happened usually in July is we would have talked about the Epstein case a lot more, right? And now it kind of got glossed over this year. The Epstein case was huge, and it still is huge. Again, it's a precursor to next year. Wait for the climax on this one because it's going to be big. If
gonna
she
be
can
huge.
survive. If she can survive, it's going to be big news coming from that,
Do it
hopefully.
full Trump there. Do it again. Do it again, Greg.
It's gonna be huge.
There it is.
There's a lot of people
That's
that were
my Trump.
associated with that Epstein thing, and it was very disgusting, vile acts that happened on that island, from what's been alleged. So we need to find out what happened there. So most months that's what we would have talked about in July. July we still had social justice going on, civil unrest, and we were gearing up for the election.
The wildfires were kind of a big deal for us living in California.
Not yet though, right? Because this was the spark, right? This wasn't before. This is before they got really big.
The Apple fire was a huge fire.
Well, I mean,
Man,
before
they
they got
started
to what they
growing from
were. California
Um,
has fires every year.
One thing I want to point out too is not only is the Epstein case something that we would talk about, and that would be a huge story any other year. Think about it. We're 7 months in. How many of those headlines would be a huge story any other year on its own? There's so many. Like we've
That's
got
what I love so much about 2020, right? So like 2020, I feel like should have been 1999 because what we tried to do was fit in like all of the 1900s in the 1 year, and
Yeah.
we kind of missed the point. This should have been 1999.
Party like
okay.
it's 1999.
1999. You would have been so, you would have been so fucking bored. Put us
What?
on quarantine in 1999. Can you imagine quarantine in 1999 versus 2000 or 2020? No Netflix.
Dude, we would have just been listening to our Eminem soundtracks nonstop.
Dude,
Just our
You're
EPs.
Alright.
downloading an album every 3 days because that's how long it takes to get 12 tracks downloaded onto a CD.
Dirt
From
to the books
Napster.
would've been quicker.
Rick is on like his 8th computer because he keeps downloading gay porn and getting viruses.
Well, there's no way
What's
to get
wrong with
porn.
that? What's wrong with that?
There's no way to get all
There's
that
nothing
porn.
wrong with your gay porn, Rick.
Not at all.
No, I mean it's just kind of like a mixed bag of Doritos there. It's all good.
Who's doing
Who has
August?
That's me. Okay. So it was a very fantastic month. Has this podcast actually officially debuted? Yay! And blessed be
Oh, wait.
blessed be to the dozens and dozens of listeners out there. Thank
Both of
you.
them.
The NBA and the NHL return in their bubbles, and Bubble Boy is born. 2 massive explosions in Lebanon killed 220 and injured thousands, and damage estimated to be $10 to $15 billion, with over 300,000 people homeless. My boy Putin claims to approve the first COVID vaccine and administered it to his daughter. Jacob Blake is shot.
It was vodka.
COVID death toll reaches 800,000. Positive global cases reaches 25 million. Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos is the first man in history to have a net worth of 200 billion. Chump change.
Why do we celebrate that? Like, fuck him, man.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Centimillionaires, none of they're billionaires. Was it centabillion? Isn't that what you call them now?
Wow,
I
what?
don't
know.
What does that mean? Centipede?
Well, it's like 100 billion.
Hmm.
Centabillion.
And then
Assholes.
Hurricane Laura
Greedy.
hits Louisiana. And then I know we're going to cover deaths in the end, but dude, Chadwick Boseman died in August.
That one was unexpected, wasn't it?
That one
Like
hurt.
that one was up there with the. I mean, it wasn't as big as Kobe to me, but that one was definitely unexpected.
Wakanda forever.
This one, what's the big one to me on this one? Lebanon was crazy when that happened
Dude,
because
that-
nobody knew what that was when it first happened. Right? There was all kinds of speculation that that was a bomb.
Right.
And with the way that 2020 had been going up to that point, I mean, it seemed very legitimate that that could have been a bomb.
Dude, that
So
looked like
that one in the moment seemed really big.
it looked like a nuclear blast at first too. You're like,
Yeah.
holy shit! You know?
I was listening to the radio, and the guy on the radio was like, "Oh my God, Lebanon was just bombed," because like they didn't know what happened, right? Like it was just surreal again. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate using that word so many times. It's like the third surreal moment of this year. Yep, that was a big one for me.
It's NBA and NHL, the bubbles. That was kind of a Lebanon. You're right. It's surprising, but for me, I remember distinctly being very, very excited that sports were finally back after sitting at home. Remember February, so I am now 6 months at home almost, and the NBA and the NHL came back. I actually
What a
watched
leader.
the NHL. It actually turns out that they have people that watch that sport, so I started watching it too.
Dude, and the NBA and NHL bubbles happened with great success too. Like everybody thought it
Amazing
was
success.
going to be garbage, but they actually did pretty well.
Yeah, and then the NBA goes and fucks it up when they're like, "Oh, we're gonna give you a 72-day off break between seasons." Right? They start this season, they're like, "No bubble this season," and then immediately they're canceling fucking games. So
well, James Harden can't keep himself out of the strip clubs.
Yeah.
James Harden's doing anything he can to get traded.
I'm
That
sorry,
piece of
you
shit.
make millions of dollars a year and 72 days isn't enough time for you. Fuck them. Those motherfuckers should be playing every goddamn week.
I fucking hate James Harden is a piece of shit. I just want that on record. I think everybody should know that by now. Fuck that guy.
I feel like
So-
the NBA is a bunch of pieces of shit at this point. The NBA is so disappointing to
There's
me
some
with
good
with
guys.
with the added. Well, no, and that's true. I mean, there's good guys everywhere,
Yeah.
but just the attitudes that they have towards the elite money that they're making, and then complaining that they only have 72 days off. That just baffles my mind. That's such a total disconnect from reality and what normal people have to go through.
Yeah.
I understand you're playing on an elite level. I would I'll put my tennis shoes on today, and if you're gonna pay me 100th of what you pay those guys, I'm out there every day. I don't give a shit.
And think
Every
about it. You're
fucking
retiring
day.
when you're what, fucking 39 years old, as old as
Yep.
we are right now. You get to retire for the rest of your fucking life and be done with millions. Shut the fuck up and do what you got to do.
And
for right now.
millions.
Like, why is this a fucking argument? It's fucking stupid.
It bugs
dude.
me.
But
It bugs me.
I was happy
tremendously.
to see some competitive sports back because I am obviously a
Dude,
fan.
you know what too though? The NHL, man, I think they were the first sports league to actually do like the fake crowd noise.
They were both. They were both.
Yeah,
Well,
I
they're-
don't know who was the first one. But the
they're the-
NHL was the first one to do it right.
Yes, there you go. Thank you for finishing my sentence. But yes, they were the
You're
first. And even still, dude, I watch NFL games and shit. And I'm like, no, it's stupid.
I think it
NHL were
depends
the
on
only
the
ones that did
stadium
it right.
with the NFL. The NFL, it depends on the stadium because you might not hear it.
The fake crowd
hey,
noise.
Fuck that guy. Yeah.
The NFL sound noise. What I've heard on that has not been good. It sounded. So I
Have
guess
you heard it at
because
the-
the stadiums are so much bigger, like you expect the sound noise to be that much bigger, right? With hockey, I don't know. It seemed like it was fitting, and then I guess also you don't see the crowd as much in hockey as you do in the NFL or you do
Yeah.
in the NBA.
Yeah, it's always on the
You'll
ice.
see people jumping up on the side and reacting to the plays. The NHL is kind of, the cameras are usually on the ice, so I
Yeah.
don't know, it kind of lets you get lost in the fake noise a little bit better, I think. Baseball
let's move
too.
on to September. September. Here we go.
That's you, Rick.
More than I know it's me. More than 50 people are arrested on September 5th as Portland, Oregon marks 100 days of protests against racism and police brutality. Tampa Bay wins the Stanley Cup.
Is that the team that Tom Brady's on?
Yeah, I think so. I don't really know anything about the NHL. Let's assume.
I assume that this is a Tom Brady jersey, right?
Yeah,
looks
that's
like
it.
the colors.
They're all the same thing. It's all.
And I know
It
it's a
actually
hockey jersey.
does. you know.
Yeah, also, fuck Tom Brady, but that's okay. The
would.
presidential debates start. Those were fun.
They were so
Trump
great, so
announced-
fantastic. I beat everybody.
Trump announces a peace
Everybody.
deal between UAE and Israel. Microsoft buys Bethesda, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg dies. It was my birthday that month, and I'm so pissed because Duper gets to announce the very first bullet point in October because he beat me by 3 days. Should have happened 3 days sooner.
So September, the biggest thing to me was RBG. When RBG
Absolutely.
happened, well, not necessarily for me. It's like for my personal thing, I would say Tampa Bay wins the Stanley Cup is the biggest thing. But for you, RBG was huge. I remember you had a mini meltdown over this one, and
I didn't have a mini meltdown. I had a
you were that lady screaming about how RBG. That was actually you in a wig in the car, screaming at your phone that RBG was dead and how
I was a
how
Karen.
could you do this and
Was
not
I
wait.
Karen?
Yeah, you were
Like,
that
looking
Karen.
for a manager.
Yeah, how could you not wait one more year? Ah! That was you.
Rick was pretty fucked up about it, you know.
Yeah, right, like he's playing it off like no, it's totally cool about it. You know,
No, I'm sorry, I just got
ACB,
the,
I'm down
uh,
with ACB.
I got the counter offer. No, RBG. I was upset, and really because
Because your
being a
wife told
father
you
of
to
a
be?
daughter. No, being a father, my daughter. I want her to grow up to be a very independent, very strong-willed woman. I don't want her to take shit, and I want her to look up to people like Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Wait.
she-
Okay, before we get too deep into like the real shit here, my favorite thing about RBG was your wife and her reaction to a joke that you made.
What was the joke? Do you remember the joke? 'Cause I do remember. that.
We were going back and forth on this. You had finally calmed down about her passing away after probably a week of crying, and so we're talking about why was she so determined, right? What drove her to be so great and just to be just so influential? And
Yeah.
then you made a joke about her looks and how she was hideous, and maybe that's the reason why she spent so much time working and driving herself. And Rachel
that's right.
overheard this,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Rachel was so mad at you. I thought that was the end of the podcast. Realistically, I thought that was over.
What I
was
said
like,
was
okay, well,
ugly
that
people
didn't
breed
even sound on the podcast, but now Rick can't talk to Duper anymore.
No, it was ugly people breed success, right? And I was like,
Yeah, okay, that's true.
Look at the
Okay,
Take Warning. Look at the Take Warning podcast. We are not pretty fucking people,
Yeah.
but we're doing it.
we
because
work
we
hard.
don't have
We're
to
not
think about that.
successful either, so I'll just put that
We're
out there.
getting there. Hey, look, we're live tonight. Fuck you.
We
doing
work
well.
hard.
Outside
So-
of the Antelope Valley, this podcast is nothing. But anyway,
Fucking Palmdale.
Coming from Vegas.
Anyways, yeah, I do remember that, and it was a joke. It was literally just a joke.
Yeah,
like
it was a
I
joke.
don't believe. Yeah, obviously, when Duper and I are talking on our own, we say some really, really stupid shit to each
Off
other.
color, very bad
remember,
stuff.
remember Chris Benoit? So,
Yes.
like,
oh my
oh my
god, we
God.
made jokes about
so
that
when
for
Chris
way too
Benoit
long.
Murdered his family. Yeah, we said the worst jokes, and it was just a joke. It wasn't in any way we took that
Because
serious.
like, okay, so to be honest, that's how Rick and I cope with anything, right? Like it's through
Truly.
humor. And I think that some people don't understand that is that when you use humor as a coping mechanism for whenever something goes bad in your life, people who don't use humor as a coping mechanism, they can't always relate to that, and they have a serious problem. Ricky, our fans can actually see you not being engaged now.
I'm reading my counter offer here. They want to keep a cat and a bird in there.
so
While
Duper, I feel a
yeah,
little
that's fine.
weird because at this point on our before we went streaming, like Rick would have gotten out of his chair at least 6 times by now, but
I know,
now he
right.
hasn't. But
Yeah.
he's just changed shirts, like, and
I'm
that's
doing
it.
it. I'm doing
got a
it. Oh, no,
seatbelt on.
no. I want you guys to see what I'm doing right now. This is why this matters. I know this is off topic, but I've just completed my signing. And fellas, that's Rick getting a house, hopefully. It's done. I just signed the counter offer. We're done.
Good for you, man.
Yeah,
We're
dude.
proud of you.
Sorry, that's
So-
big news for us. But
Can
yeah,
can we
no,
continue the
we're
podcast?
very
What-
excited for you.
What month
Yeah,
are
we
we
can do
on?
that now.
So
Back to the
RBG.
podcast. What were we talking about?
RBG.
Yes.
Oh, RBG.
Your daughter
anyways,
looks up to her.
She's one of those people that like what she worked on in her career and how she fought for equality, especially for women's rights. It mattered a lot, and I'm not a woman, so I can't really say a lot. But I think that it really mattered to me. Obviously, well, I mean, I've got tits, but that's something different. But it mattered to me that Sam had role models like that, and seeing her go, I was concerned and I was nervous about who was going to take her place. That's what I wasn't, I wasn't upset about so much who was going to replace her or who was going to have the chance to replace her. I was just worried about who was taking her place and how are you going to fill that kind of a void. She was a giant, and it's great to lose her.
But if Sam is looking for role models, give her the same advice that we gave Brennan for Duper's kid, and just don't listen to this podcast or do anything that we do, and that includes you being her father. And then she should be set up for success.
Her role model should be just the opposite of us.
Yes. And then
That's-
she'll.
I've told her that for years. Like, don't look up to me. I'm here to make sure that you are not me.
Don't do what I do. Don't be
Her
40
mom's-
years old starting a podcast. It won't work
Her
out for you.
mom's been telling her the same thing since she was born too, so don't worry about it. Well, about you. RBG.
that's-
So I also have a daughter. I don't think that RBG is necessarily the person I would want her to look up to. I want her to be able to look up to somebody and not see gender and not see race and not see any of these superficial things that we make such a big deal about here in this world right now. I want her to look up to somebody and see them for who they are, right? And for what their opinions are. And I want her to be more than just surface. I want her to go deeper than just the surface when she's picking her role models.
Dude, are
And I
you
don't want
guys
her to
sure
say,
you
"Hey,
haven't? Are you sure you haven't been drinking already? Because you guys were like all
No,
sad, like, I want my kid to do this.
Like, I don't know if
Kids,
you can
blah.
tell, I did pour a glass and I've already had it, and
Yeah,
it is
Rick
that
is drunk now.
I'm such a shitty father. Don't
I
be
know you
like
guys-
me. You know, like,
Let's
goddamn
talk
it,
to you in this
man.
month.
I don't know if you guys can read it, but it's 125 proof, and I already had a glass. So
What's
Okay.
that to you, Greg?
let's
Huh?
get loose. Put our balls out. Camera.
Dude, Duper, October.
So you're not even going to talk about September. You don't even give a fuck.
Dude, no,
There's
because you guys,
space stuff. So, meh.
no, because I want to have Rick do something for October. I want to see if he
Okay,
can do it.
October 2nd, Donald J. Trump tests positive for COVID. I don't know what this is.
So, you know what we forgot in September? I got COVID in September. I forgot about
Oh,
that.
we forgot about the Greg got COVID.
Yeah, dude. So, Rick, real
We
quick.
did a special.
So, yeah, I know we did. Rick, is there any way you can pull up Duper's audio bite that he did for me that we made fun of the fucking Trump getting COVID thing?
Okay, we're live.
It was like a
so
sound
I
bite.
can?
Play it. Anyway,
I gotta go look for it.
if you guys want to go back, look at our COVID special. And then Duper made this epic like fucking intro for me when I got COVID, and it is
Oh, we're running
fucking
next week.
fantastic.
Because we got to do a share. We got to share that. We'll start the next week's episode.
We'll
with
have
that.
all that ready. Dude, this is the first fucking live show. You're making this very difficult.
Yeah, but we're trying to be on
The
topic right now.
FBI charges 13 men with
Who's
planning to kidnap Michigan Governor Whitmer. The Lakers win the championship. The
Oh,
Dodgers
God.
win the World Series.
Oh, really?
God.
Yeah,
Really?
Bubble Boy is born. Pope Francis backs same-sex civil unions. Bubble Boy was huge, man. He was. If you don't know who Bubble Boy was, look him up during the LA Lakers championship
I would
parade
much
or celebration. He was fantastic.
I would much rather watch Bubble Boy than Rick's fucking shitty ass $50 hat that he got from fucking.
That is the ugliest hat.
It's fucking
I love it.
atrocious, dude.
It's the
Atrocious.
fucking best hat you've ever seen in your life.
It's
Not
the
at
worst
all.
hat I've
No,
ever
it
seen.
lets you know what matters in LA sports. So, yeah, and I'm saying that as a Rams fan
What
too. but that's what
shitty
matters.
merchandise?
Fuck you. I wore it tonight specifically because it's ugly and
HCB is confirmed to the Supreme Court. Rick lost his shit again.
I did not lose my shit on that.
EU proposes legal action against the, which is because like just 30 seconds ago, Rick was talking about, I want my daughter to look at the RBG because she has a vagina and my daughter has a vagina. So and ACB has a vagina, but that's a vagina I don't vagina. So I don't want my daughter's vagina looking up to this vagina that I don't vagina. So I don't know what's going on with that. EU proposes legal action against the UK, citing Brexit is illegal.
Rick's hat looks like a vagina.
Hey, you know what, man?
Beat vagina.
Yeah, like beat the fuck up.
Yeah, like a Sierra Highway vagina.
Like a gangbang fucking vagina.
Which, I mean, if that's what you're into, I mean, by all means,
by all
Albert, whatever
means.
you want to do, buddy.
Yeah, we don't judge.
Oh, here you go. NASA's Orion Rex lands on asteroid.
Say that again.
Start
Start over.
sample from a. They get an asteroid sample. Who cares?
From an
That
asteroid.
one over? It's Osiris Rex.
Oh, it is also
Not to be
Who's been drinking?
not to be confused with the Caucasaurus Rex. Two totally
Yeah.
different things.
Social media censors Trump and the media hides the Hunter Biden laptop story. What stood out to you, Greg?
Dude, the
already know
way
what the
that
two
you
stories, Rick.
cannot pronounce Osiris. Try it again.
Osiris.
Stood out to me too.
Oh,
That stood out heavily.
No.
Osiris. It's a.
I think the greatest thing and the most horrible thing ever was Trump getting COVID, because there I'm like, oh, I'm fresh recovered from COVID. I was like, the president has it. Maybe he'll be humble in his
You're like,
fucking
we're
aftermath.
We're
Put a mask on. He's gonna put a mask on, guys. That's what's happening. There.
Twins. No, so I'm like, okay, he'll be humble and he'll fucking actually start taking this. Just the exact fucking opposite. The day he gets out of the hospital, he makes that propaganda video with him saluting a helicopter.
Don't forget when he was in the hospital, he goes and throws two guys in a fucking Suburban with him so he can drive around and wave at people. Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, he's got coronavirus. Like,
You
it'll be
Secret
okay.
Service, you will drive me around. I don't care if you get COVID. Fuck you. But yeah,
Exactly.
But that propaganda video was fucking pretty goddamn epic, though. Like, I
I
hope
loved it.
one
Where he
day
was saluting the helicopter that's flying away. Like, yeah, those guys will see you.
he fucking takes his mask off up atop of the stairs. I'm so fucking brave. Give that man a Medal of Honor. Holy shit.
Oh, dude. Duper's quiet because he loves the man. I'm sorry.
Dude, look how
Everybody's
red
singing by it tonight.
Duper's getting as red as his jersey.
No.
He's pretty angry.
Here he goes. And he can't talk about NASA. I don't know why he hates NASA so much.
I don't know why you guys love NASA so much. It's so fucking
You
boring.
know
It's
why
60
I
years
love
ago.
NASA so much. You know why I love
60
NASA.
years ago. Like, I don't understand the fascination with it today. Like, so Rick, is
not
all
even
the shit from
gonna
the
get into
60s fake? Is it all fake? Because why are we making a big deal about it
Why
today?
would I wouldn't know. I don't know.
So you're not even denying it. I work off the assumption that it's real, right? I assume
course.
everything from the space program from the 60s is real. So what's that mean? Shit don't matter today. That's what it means to me.
It does matter.
You know,
there's a lot. There's a lot going on here. They're going to build. There's a reason why we're going, right? We're not going to the moon to do the same thing. We're like, I took a few steps, put a flag up. We're actually trying to build a base so that we can get to Mars. That's the whole point of Artemis. Not to mention, we're using our first female-only crew. That's never been done.
What identity in space? Wow,
Yes.
that's great. So that's so great that we can take identity politics from Earth to Mars now. That's great.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
awesome. I thought they were from Venus though.
No, you're right. We should probably just keep them on the planet making our sandwiches, right, and not sending them up there. Is that what
No,
you're
not
saying?
at all.
I mean, what are
I
you
think we
concerned
should
with here,
pick-
Dupo?
We should
Please,
take astronauts.
please, this is
based
getting
on
good. I
merit.
want to see where this
That's
goes.
it. That's all I want to do.
You
If-
just want
if-
to see them pick the best candidates, right? Well,
That's
the
it.
best candidates might have been female 60 years
Yeah,
ago, too, but we didn't get
100%
that
for
choice, did we?
Fuck yeah, dude. You know
So why
what?
are you worried about identity politics now?
If this time around was all women and it was fucking those were the best candidates, let's fucking send them into space.
They
But
are
what
the
I get
best
sick
candidates.
of, what I get sick of is the fucking parade around it. Like, oh, this is fucking so special because these are all women going up there.
Should we
No,
not be
let's just-
identifying the first, like when we had the first female vice president, the first
exhausting.
black president? It gets exhausting for you, but you're not a fucking woman. You think that maybe they want to celebrate the fact that
I'm
this
not-
is the first
I'm
female
not
crew?
about Trump. When Trump gets elected in, I don't feel that's a victory for me because I share a similar skin color, which
I'm not talking
nobody
about Trump, though.
No.
Trump doesn't even have the same
No.
skin color as any human being on this planet.
Yeah, he's orange.
We're white. So who the
Oompa
fuck is
Loompa.
cheering him in? Like, identity politics is really annoying to me. And now that it's taking the space, I mean, damn, dude.
I think that you would probably relate better if you were a female. Honestly,
Let me.
that's what I would say there. I think.
Well,
that
tell me
maybe
about
there's something
ACB then, Rick.
Hmm?
Tell me about
there.
how
What's my
much you love
opinion with
ACB.
I don't like her politics.
Who?
It had nothing to do
ODB?
with her. No, ACB. And I was concerned that she
And the
was going
LBC.
to lean the wrong way, and she's already shown. And like Chief Justice Roberts, and actually we've had this conversation in the back, on the well, not on the pod, but we have talked about Chief Justice Roberts and ACB both showing that they are constitutionalists, like we've talked about.
We talked about
And
this
they
on
are
the election
leaning-
special.
Yeah, well, did we? Well, they're
Yeah.
leaning towards the law, and that's what mattered to me. And I was concerned that they would not lean towards the law because of who brought them in. I don't
You know who
trust Trump.
didn't lean towards the law?
Hmm.
RBG.
Should we have sent her to space, dude?
No, she's not qualified for it, Dan. But you should also not go to space. You're barely qualified to clean the trash cans.
I'm barely qualified to be outside right now. What are you
You're
talking?
not qualified to be outside. No, I would love to see, and I know it's idealistic and maybe it's a little bit naive, but I just want to see people promoted. What is going on with Greg? You okay?
We
You guys are
It's
fucking.
November here.
Ugh.
Can we get to November?
You guys get
All right,
on these
November.
tangents, man. I'm just
All right,
like.
Greg, go November.
What was I doing? November. Okay. So obviously, big news. The U.S. election happened, and the fallout from that. Trump makes his claims of election fraud that are still going on to this day. The U.S. Pulls out of the Paris Agreement on climate change, and Duper's happy about that. Dude, I got an Xbox Series X and have been playing it, which is fantastic. And then some other suckers are playing PS5s.
Whoa. Rick got one too.
PS5 is the one you want.
Well, okay, Rick. Yeah, congratulations. Dupe, you
We
suck.
both got one.
Um,
Can we
oh,
both be excited?
Duper. NASA and SpaceX launched the Crew 1 mission
What
to the
does that
space
one do?
station.
What does that one do?
That one had 4 people in it. So count 1, 2, 3,
What race were
4.
What race were they?
They are
That
a
was our
mix.
first-
They're a
that was our
cultural
first-
mix.
Were they boys or girls?
Both.
They can't be
Yes.
Why?
because there's fucking like 100 different genders. So you got to tell me which gender they were.
Dude, Rick, like, because the astronauts got to be scrumping up there at the space station, right? So, like,
There's got to be a point where somebody tried it, right?
yeah, how does that work? I mean, like us, I think all of us here are too fat, so like gravity probably wouldn't work for us in space because we're that much of masses. But like, I
I would
wonder
wanna
how
do,
it
like-
would
I
be
would
like
wanna
having
be, like-
sex in zero gravity.
I would want to be doing doggy style twirling, like the whole time. Just
I actually
twirling
feel
doggy
like
style.
with our mass in space, because of how big we are, they would actually come towards us. We would actually be the gravitational pull because we're so fat.
we're like 3 miniature suns that are just fucking gravitating towards us. Nice. That's space stuff, Duper. I'm proud of you.
Cooper would get splashed in the face with his own nut.
I don't know if you guys read the newsletter, but this shit happened in the
Gravity
1960s,
pulling it in.
dude.
Yeah. Dude, so it'd be
JFK
like
was
it'd
the
be like
president.
Right in the eye, right in Dupe's eye.
I like that you guys are like acting like this is new information. Like this shit
and
happened
Dupe
in the
wouldn't
60s.
he wouldn't even dodge it, Rick. He'd probably like open his mouth and try to eat it like
Yeah, I would.
Like they drink the soda or the water when they drink it out of the bottle. And they're like, what can you? Oh.
it's like a bunch of anemones.
M&Ms?
That seemed like it would be fun the
Anemones.
first time, and then like after the second time you did it,
What?
you'd be bored.
Are
of
you
doing
talking
that
about
shit.
tasting this? It would be fun tasting the semen.
Yeah, I mean that too.
in
Whatever.
space?
Would
Yeah.
it be spaceman?
Space semen.
Because semen's for the sea, right? So
This
Anyway.
is such a bad joke. That's
Yes.
such a bad joke.
um
It's a joke that they would have made in the 19.
it's better than you guys talking about RBJ for 26 minutes. So anyway,
RBJ?
yes, that too. And ABC, ODB, whatever. COVID cases reached 60 million globally, and the CIA assassinated Iran's top nuclear scientist. I'm just assuming it was the CIA because
So in
Why
November
not?
we were at 60 million. In July we were at 15 million. It's interesting.
November
Most
was
interesting.
60 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were at 60 million, and we were at 15 million in July.
Which is kind of not even a real number, right? because we didn't start testing until what, April?
Truly.
Maybe no, March.
No,
We
it
started
was like-
testing in March.
Well, we started testing in
But
March.
they're
We didn't have
they're
real
saying it
testing
was
until,
here.
like, May.
They're saying it was here since September, possibly, but for sure December of 2019. That's why it's called COVID-19 and not COVID-20. So that
Dude,
number's probably higher.
I heard that the WHO, like they stopped their numbers at a bajillion. So now they're like COVID deaths, bajillion, quadrillion, bajillion, and deaths is like quadrillion, because yeah, the numbers are just insane.
I mean, it's possible.
Do you think the Grinch constantly taxed the WHO?
What?
What?
It's like Whoville.
The Grinch taxes them? When did he
That's
tax
what-
them?
a
Do you
tax
think
them.
Oh, a
scientists- do you think
tax.
scientists actually call, like, where they're studying on doing all the research? Do you think they call it Whoville? That work for the
No,
World
this
Health
joke isn't working.
Organization?
Let's move on.
I'm just curious.
Let's move on. I tried.
We're gonna use
You tried. It's not working.
So-
that stuck out to me was the cases, and obviously the whole Trump claiming election fraud, because that's still going on, and that's crazy. That is, it's like watching him lose over and over and over again with these lawsuits and these constant claims, and he's been quiet, and that's that's been the problem, right? The leader has been quiet about what's going on with COVID, because this is at the same time, November is when we had Thanksgiving. And that's when the outbreaks really started happening in all these states, right? I'm in California. It's fucking horrendous right now, and it has been since Thanksgiving. And no word about it. Mum's the word, right? All I want to talk about is election fraud. All I want
So
to talk
with
about
Trump-
is like fucking mail that got thrown in a car, and he drove it to his buddy's house, and they were probably burning it for firewood. You know, that bullshit. Rather than say, hey, people are dying, this is what we need to do right now to try and hunker down. He still
He
hasn't said
did
anything
that.
about it.
He did that in March and April, and he was having his daily pressers every fucking day. And he would talk about fucking UV lights inside your body, and we talk about drinking bleach. And we all said that's too much. We don't need this much Donald Trump. Stop talking about COVID. And then now he stops talking about COVID, and we're also upset that he's not talking about COVID.
Dude,
Like,
speaking
what
of press
is,
releases,
what is the right answer?
you know who I miss? I miss Sean Spicer. Can we bring him back?
He was fucking awesome.
Can like
Why?
Biden bring him back as his press secretary? Because that'd be amazing. Good
He
old
was just always
Spicy.
so fucking angry. Like,
Yeah.
Spicer was the man. He was spicy.
And the
So why is that okay, but Kelly McEnany is not okay?
because Melissa McCarthy made fun of Sean Spicer on Saturday Night Live multiple times, and they were fucking amazing. So
They
go
were.
check that out.
When she got on the little what do they call those things? Which she
I don't
wrote.
watch that show.
She was riding the podium.
Yeah.
Like, fuck yeah, dude. That's fucking amazing.
I'll
Oh,
never watch that show in my life.
No one cares, Duper. That shit's funny. Go ahead and watch
You
it.
ruined
Duper
Breaking
wants-
Bad
he's,
for me.
he's saying it. He's saying it because he wants to give the explanation why he doesn't watch it. So Duper, explain why
They
you don't
ruined
watch
Breaking Bad. They ruined the ending of Breaking Bad, and so I will
on
never
Saturday
forgive
Night
them.
Live. Yeah, Saturday Night Live ruined the ending of Breaking Bad for you because they made a joke 1 year after the series ended. It was a year. I looked it up. That joke came out a year after, and Duper hadn't finished it, and he's mad about it.
Well, because the joke was say what you want to say, right? And they knew it was shit that people didn't want them to say, and so they say shit that they knew was gonna piss me off, and then it pisses me off, and so it happens, dude. Fuck them, man. I'll never watch that show again. Fuck them, dude.
Dude,
I don't even fucking know what happens. in
Rick
that show.
pisses you off, and I think I do too, at least 3 times a week, and you still talk to us. So how is that any different?
What if I would have spoiled Mandalorian for you?
They wouldn't have, because I would have watched
what if
that
I would've
shit
done
the
that for
day
you?
it released. You didn't, because I watched it
But what if
first.
I did?
Because every day you're like, I have no life, I can't watch anything. So I know that that'd be unrealistic for you to
Okay,
ruin
motherfucker.
anything for
Okay.
me.
But I also
Alright,
stay up
so-
late. I stay up late. The next time a show you want to watch comes out at midnight, I'm gonna watch that shit and fucking spoil that shit for you.
Then I'm
I
just
hate
not
you.
gonna tell you what shows
Hey,
I'm watching.
His
Duh.
name is Grogu. His name is Grogu. Anyway, go to December.
Well,
You have
what was
December,
what was your
Rick.
thing on this one, Rick or
Do I have
Greg?
December?
What was your thing on November?
Well, dude, it was obviously the Xbox Series X. I mean, you would think that I would say something important like the U.S. election, but like this election didn't matter. It was either Trumpers backing Trumpers or everybody else who did not want Trump supporting the other guy.
That's true.
So who cares, right?
The other guy. Isn't that
um,
such? Don't you feel like 21 agent or year 2021 is kind of like Biden Trump, where it doesn't even fucking matter what 2021 is. At least it's not 2020, and we're just so excited to get there.
Yes, 4 days.
Okay, moving on to December. because we got to get through this. God damn it! There's only a few
Rick,
left.
I am tired and I gotta go to sleep. Even though we're gonna wrap this up in about an hour and 40 minutes as opposed to 2 hours, like we said it was gonna be. I am fucking tired. I had a shot, and so I am tired.
Why is
So,
he still? Why is he
I
talking
get
like
it, dude.
Giuliani? Like,
I don't have any hair dye dripping yet, though. Do I?
I'm just saying
I gotta
that's
work on
like
that.
that's like the best Giuliani ever. So, I'm fucking. When you go back and watch that, I want you to do it again. That's
Okay,
gonna happen.
I'll try.
Hey,
My biggest thing was the
December.
election, of course. December. Yeah, nobody cares.
COVID vaccines are finally the
Okay, wrap
EUA
it
is
up
out
already,
there.
dude.
Pfizer,
Fuck.
Moderna. I don't even know what we just said.
Yeah, what happened there? Did you have an aneurysm?
Pfizer, Moderna. The Electoral College cast their vote on the 14th and officially elect Joe Biden. It's over at this point, but there's still lawsuits. COVID cases surpassed 65 million globally. That means we had 5 million cases in 1 month. The death rate is what? Okay, the death rate is we're at 100 or 1.5 million people dead. That's around one death every 9 seconds. That's where we were at in December after the Thanksgiving holiday in the United States. That's actually where we were at, was one death every 9 seconds. That slowed down a little bit, but it's still pretty bad. The biggest hack in U.S. history happens, revealing U.S. secrets to the nuclear stockpile and the ability to shut down the energy grid. And the European Union agrees to decrease greenhouse emissions by 55% over the next decade. To me, I think the hack is the biggest story. I mean, even over the fact that we have a COVID vaccine.
No.
It's
Hanukkah
the hack.
happened.
Oh yeah, Hanukkah happened, Christmas happened. We know
Yeah.
all that shit.
Yeah.
But tell me the hack isn't the biggest news out of that month, out of this month.
I agree, even over the vaccines.
Yeah.
I think the hack, some of the reports that are coming out of it are crazy. They're saying that now the Russians have the ability, or the intel at least, to shut down our entire power grid. Well, our power grid's not set up to shut down. So there's some reports out there, according to ABC News, this is where I heard it from, that says that they shut down our power grid and we wouldn't be able to get it back up for 6 months to a year. Things like that are terrifying. And they have a lot of our nuclear, not codes, but they know the status of our stockpile and where things are. So it's terrifying to know that those things are out there. And we got to go back and do a lot of revamping and resecuring a lot of these loose ends now from that.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot to be said about that hack. I think we've talked about it offline a little bit. It's I don't know, man. It's unbelievable that it was allowed to happen, or it happened, and that it, for years. And I'm not talking shit about any administration here, but every administration is like, dude, we're lockstep. We're fine. We got our eyes on Russia. Don't worry about that shit. We're not going to get hacked by China. We're not going to blah, 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 blah. And then what happens, dude? The nuclear fucking stockpile, our energy grid, like, this isn't just like bullshit about finding out, and I'm not going to say that's bullshit, but it's not like finding out about like our spies in your country. Like, oh, I know which every spy that's in my country, and I could, do whatever I'm going to do with them. We're talking about the fucking nuclear stockpile. Like that's huge. The energy. Imagine if America went out, they shut down the energy grid on this fucking continent. What would happen? I mean, that's insane. So yeah, it's the biggest news, dude. And there's going to be a lot to it. And I think that if COVID wasn't such a big deal right now, if the election had just been kind of finalized at the beginning of the month, we'd be talking a lot more about this hack, and we should be talking.
I don't think we talk about these things unless it actually affects us, right? We're so fucking narrow-minded. So until they shut down our energy grid, then we'll fucking care about it, right? Right now, it's just kind of, oh, they hacked us.
Oh, it's kind of like when you get, it's kind of like when you get COVID, and then
right, we're so numb to it, though. I mean, everybody's fucking credit information is out there from the credit hack a few months ago or a couple years ago, right? When all that shit happened and half of America's credit information was put out there. We're just so numb to it, and we just kind of assume all of our shit's going to be stolen.
Yeah.
That this isn't even big news to us when it should be bigger news to us.
Dude, it's not news, dude, because foreign powers fucking consistently every day try to hack our shit.
That's true, but they actually did it.
And I guarantee you that, yeah, but who's to say we haven't done it already also? You know?
And that's the problem with all this. Like, how many places have we hacked, right? And how much information is out there? The next war might not even be a ground warfare, right? It will be a cyber warfare where, okay, I'm going to shut down LA. Okay, I'm going to shut down Moscow. So is this going to be like this stupid fucking cat?
It's gonna
mouse
be
game
in space. That's why Trump made the Space Force.
with the Guardians.
Space Force. The Guardians. The Guardians of the Century. Protect us. They made a documentary on Netflix called Space Force. You guys should check it
So-
out. It's real.
I don't know if you guys know this. We didn't actually do I mean, I'm sure you know this because you're on the fucking podcast. We didn't have a moment with Foof, and that's okay. But he did ask. Yeah, he did point out something while we were talking about this. But he said he wishes that when infrastructure spending, and I just lost it because Lee and his stupid comments, infrastructure spending came up, that it would get approved more often than it does. We need a complete overhaul of our infrastructure spending, and I think that kind of relates to what happened with the hack. That's part of our infrastructure and how we're securing it. We're fucking outdated, man. You know how America is, how the government works. If it's still working from 30 years ago, it's gonna, I happen to work someplace where we're flying fucking 30-year-old planes, 40-year-old planes. It's the government. That's a good point.
This is
Well,
the
no,
problem
you are
when-
not, because you were at home and you've been at home since March. So you haven't been doing shit. You've been
Before
like on
you're
Facebook
employed.
the whole
Every
time.
fucking day. I have been working every day. I even work today, man. It fucking sucks, but I'm doing it.
Rick, I just saw an orb
This
go
guy's got
past
that
your
smirk
head.
on his face.
Rick,
Did you?
there's like a bug behind you or something, dude. There's like an orb
there?
flying around your head. Yeah, dude. I don't know if they saw that on the stream.
Oh, I
It's
can
like
see it.
behind. Yeah, right there. Boom. See? What is that? Boom. You guys seeing that on the stream? Rick has ghosts in his house.
I might.
Oh yeah, I used to that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you think your
Grab-
ghost
glad
is
you're
mad at
still
you?
alive. Can we finish this now? Because I want to go home and cry.
You already are
I need a
home.
sage. I need some sage. Where's the?
Frick is
Yeah.
so dedicated to this podcast. Okay, we're 15 minutes into this. Can we end it already? God, let's get
I
it.
know.
I'm talking about, now I need a sage because we saw a fucking
Tired.
orb and
Tea time is at 8 o'clock tomorrow. I need to be there.
Right?
Okay.
Like,
no tea time tomorrow. sir. I
go out
gotta-
of bed, put on some shorts and go to work.
All right, so celebrity deaths that we didn't get to: Kirk Douglas in February. Henry Rocket Richard. He was a
Rocket
NHL player.
Richard.
I don't know. Then little Richard dies.
Little Richard. God damn it, Rick.
Jerry Stiller in May. That's Ben Stiller's dad. Jerry Sloan. That was a big one for me. I respected that guy. It's Dust. Charlie Daniels in July. Grant Imahara from Mythbusters. I never watched the show enough, but I know who he is. U.S. Congressman and activist John Lewis. That was another, and it's weird that happened during everything that happened over the summer for social justice. August, Wilford Brimley dies. I think it was probably from Beatus. Tom Seaver, Gail Sayers in September, Eddie Van Halen in October, Sean Connery in October, Alex Trebek in November, Pat Patterson, who was a wrestler, Chuck Yeager in December, and Debo Lister, man.
And
So-
David Stern had also passed in January. I missed that on this list.
Oh, we did miss that.
Dude,
You're
isn't it like Sean Connery and Alex Trebek died like weeks from each other? And like
Yeah.
the only thing I could think about is those, once again, Saturday Night Live fucking Jeopardy skits, dude, which were
Funny.
amazing. Will Ferrell.
You think that's the reason why they died so close together?
No,
It's
but
'cause they
I'm
were
just
spirit
saying it's what I think about,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a trip.
Rest
so
in peace.
we've gotten through 12 months. You guys, with everybody that passed away and the people that we know that have suffered, and we have family and friends of family that have passed away this year, not just from COVID, but from a lot of different things. We lost a really good friend in October with Trevor, and I just thought that this might be the moment, and this is why we have the alcohol. I wanted to give one toast on air since we are live on camera, one toast for everybody. And actually, my first toast out there, my first tip, I just want to send it out to Josh because I miss him and I love him, and just want him to know that I've got his back while he goes through hard times. So let me pour this. Greg, you didn't get anything, did you?
No, I didn't. But
Okay.
I'll just pretend like this is vodka. How about that? You know?
Just inject it in your veins, then you have Sputnik 5.
Yeah, it's
There
about
it is,
Greg
guys.
size vodka anyway. So
Everybody lost. Anybody that's watching at home or anybody listening on Wednesday, please pour something out. Have a drink. We lost a lot this year.
rest in peace. That was good vodka.
It's kind of weird that we're getting to an age where this is becoming more and more common, right?
I agree.
I lost my
It's,
dog this year too.
weird. You lost your dog. That's right. Demon. It's
Yeah.
been a lot. It's been a lot. Hate to go on that downer note, but just reading that list reminded me of how much, like it's just been weird. People suffering, and that sucks, man. Nobody wants to hear that. And we were just Greg just said it the other day. He said it best when he's like, dude, I am so fucking tired of getting bad news every day.